You guys should all come down. I'll introduce the actors. Kent Osborne is here. And Jennifer Pettigrew plays Kate. Kevin plays Kat. And Josephine. So the five of us made the whole movie. We were sort of, whoever wasn't acting was holding the microphone or sort of serving as the crew. So anything you would like to know, everybody who participated is right here. So we welcome your questions and ask away. Yeah.
Is there a basic script and they just improvise? Because I mean, how to create dialogue in a script? Because there's so much nuance in it, and it seems like it comes through the actors.
Yeah, okay, the question was, is there a script that we improvise from? Maybe I'll try and unhook this so that everybody can talk. No, there's not a script, but there was like a one-page sort of list of scenes that Kent and I worked on ahead of time, and then all the dialogues improvised as we're shooting it. And that page of notes changed as we made the film, things got adjusted. We had the luxury of sort of shooting it chronologically, so we were able to, as we shot scenes and got new ideas, we were able to incorporate everything without ruining anything we'd already shot. And I edit as we shoot, so we usually do like fairly short shooting days, like we'll shoot for 5 or 6 hours a day, and then I'll take that footage and edit it that night, so that I'm always kind of up to date on what we have so far. And then we'll watch the footage together and work on scenes. Do you guys want to talk about that? Improvising or the outline we wrote? Thanks, Kent.
So this might be a potential question, but Kent, like you're the actor, that's your name in real life, but that's also your name in the movie. So how much is movie versus life?
Yeah, it's all pretty autobiographical. Except I don't think I would steal pictures off someone's camera like that. That was like the kernel of the story. When that was like Joe's first idea. He's like, I have this idea that you see a picture and then she won't show it to you, then later you steal it and you accidentally delete all the pictures. And I was like, yeah, that's great. But now I'm like, I would never do that. That's really weird. But I mean, I'd probably look at them while she's in the shower, but I wouldn't try to steal them. But if I did, I probably would delete them accidentally. But everything is pretty autobiographical. But those sunglasses were mine, and they broke, and then I had to order new ones. So I was wearing them around, driving, and then my car's really held together by duct tape, and that's my cat, and that's my job, and I smoke pot. That's how I masturbate. I can keep going. Thank you. What's that? Yeah, the hamburger, sure. And I thought I had a tumor or something, so it was like a bump, and I went to my GP, and he was like, that's not cancer, that's scar tissue. And I was like, oh, and I was getting dressed, and I was like, wait, how did I get scar tissue? And he said, have you been doing anything strenuous with your scrotum? And I was like, oh, coccyx. But I didn't tell him. I was like, oh, no. And then after that, people would be like, hey, it's the guy who does coccyx, do coccyx. And I'd be like, eh. And I was like, oh, they think I'm embarrassed, but I'm not embarrassed. It's because I don't do strenuous things in my scrotum. So there's a lot of layers going on. Yeah, I do the hamburger, the Birth of a Nation, the Loch Ness Monster, Robert De Niro, Prize Fighter, the Atomic Mushroom, the Snail, Gonzo. I do them all. Yes.
Oh, we can't say. Well, we can't say because that person doesn't necessarily know that we shot the movie. We We did not gain entry illegally, but we did not necessarily ask for permission either. So that's maybe better. This is worth risking it. Oh. You want to say? No.
We won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
The shot in the pool when you're at the producer's house, when you're these talking heads with these distorted bodies, how did you find that shot over the course of the day?
That was actually one that I actually spent a long time on. We had a really short schedule, so usually I was moving pretty quick, but that was probably the longest scene we ended up shooting also, because Kent and I we probably talked for 40 minutes, and then I just found that little segment of the dialogue to use, but I think I spent probably 45 minutes walking around the pool just looking at. LA is really, I'd never shot a movie in LA, and it was like complicated because everything looked really nice and different. I live in Chicago, and I'm like used to shooting the city and how that looks, but I wasn't really used to like how to shoot LA for the light and all the color and all that stuff. So I think we tried it from 3 different times. I'm also I'm my own camera person on the movie, so in the scenes that I'm acting in, the camera's just on a tripod and nobody's operating, and that's like how small the production is. So I'm sort of like framing up shots and then walking in front of the camera, like the way a 12-year-old would make a movie. So yeah, I just was trying a bunch of things. But it ended up looking nicest when we just sort of like lost us from the neck down, or we were like blobby. Yeah.
Why did you decide to call it Uncle Ken?
We were gonna call. Well, once Kent did the cock tricks, we were gonna call the movie Against Doctor's Orders. Played with that idea for a while. No, and Uncle Ken was one of the really early title ideas that I had, just because it's like such a sort of a sweet, unassuming name for a movie that's like got a lot of weird sexual content and stuff. So I kind of like that aspect of it. And I think, I don't know, you're just Uncle Kent. Right?
Uncle Buck.
Like Uncle Buck, yeah. We ran some marketing numbers, and Uncle Buck was a really successful film, so we thought that if we could use a similar title, we might have good VOD sales. Yeah.
What was the significance of the cat turning on them at the end?
Well, I just like this idea. Well, in a way, like he's Uncle Kent, but also like he's sort of like the cat is his child in a way. Like he doesn't have a relationship or a family, but he sort of does have a family. And I really like that idea that the movie opens with the cat with the "I love Kent Osborne" button, and at the end the cat like is really pissed at him. In reality, the cat was really mad at Kent because all of us had been sleeping in Kent's small apartment for the whole time that we were shooting the movie, and the baby cat was just really fed up with not having her own space. But I don't know, like after going through this weekend and this kind of stuff, I sort of like the cat being his conscience in some kind of way after this experience, or like punishing him a little bit. Yeah.
Do you guys have plans to shoot another film after this?
We already did, actually. I had a really weird productive year last year that's not typical, but I made 6 features last year. And one of them was like, in a way, kind of like came directly out of shooting Uncle Kent. So I flew back to Chicago, and then I think 2 months later, we were back in LA, and I made a movie with Kent and Josephine. It's not like Uncle Kent, but it was like sort of came out of the momentum of making Uncle Kent. And then spent the rest of the summer just shooting movie after movie after movie. I just had a baby. My baby's 3 months old, but so my wife and I found out she was pregnant in February of last year. And I just got really productive because I think I was like, well, when that baby comes, I'm probably not going to be able to travel and shoot a bunch of movies. So I just like went on a crazy movie making rampage. And now my baby's here at the film festival. Back there. Yeah, he's in the movie. Those are his ultrasound pictures. His first of many appearances, I'm sure. And he'll hate me when he's adult.